A young man named Napoleon Hill once asked America's richest industrialist a naive question. What does it take to become like you? Andrew Carnegie's answer was strange. He didn't give him a list of rules. He said, more or less, "Are you willing to spend 20 years of your life studying this question and then pass the answer on to other people without getting anything for it?" Hill said, "Yes." For 20 years, he interviewed the most successful people of his era. He was looking for what they had in common, and he found his answer. The answer isn't about talent, education, or luck. It's about specific principles anyone can learn. Today, I'll go through 4 of those principles. This isn't theory, and it isn't inspirational talk. These are working tools. Each one comes with concrete steps. Apply even one, and the next year of your life will run differently. Let's go. Tool number 1, a clearly defined goal. Most people don't know what they want. They'll tell you, "I want to make more money. I want a different job. I want a normal life." Those aren't goals. They're complaints dressed up as goals. A goal is something you can describe so concretely that another person, reading your description, would understand exactly what you need and could actually help you. Here's the process. Do this in the next 2 days. Step 1. Get a notebook. Not your phone, a paper notebook. It works differently in your head. Step 2. On the first page, write down your main goal for the next 3 years. Be specific. Not make more money, but how much per month. Not have my own business, but what kind of business, for what people, offering what. Not be healthy, but what weight, what routine, what kind of shape. A goal has to answer 4 questions. What, how much, by when, and why this matters to me. The last one is the most important. Without an honest answer to why, the goal doesn't make it to the result. It breaks at the first serious obstacle. Step 3. On the second page, write down what you're willing to pay for it. Not, "I'm willing to work." That's empty. Be specific. An hour a day on a new skill? Cutting evening TV for 6 months? Working through your weekends for the first year of a new business? Talking to 10 people you're afraid to approach? If page 2 is empty, page 1 is empty too. That isn't a goal. That's a daydream. The difference between a dream and a goal is that a goal has a price, and you know what it is. Step 4. Read those 2 pages each morning and each evening. Not as a ritual, so they live in your head. After a month, you'll notice your brain starting to find solutions, people, and ideas connected to that goal on its own. This isn't magic. It works because a clearly defined goal retunes your attention. You start seeing what used to walk right past you. One more important note. End the reading with a short line of gratitude for what you already have. Not as a tuning technique, as a simple acknowledgement of reality. A lot has already been given to you, and you build from there. It keeps you in the right inner posture, not demanding, but ready to work. Tool number 2, the Mastermind Alliance. This is the second principle Hill drew from his research. It goes like this. One person working alone never reaches what 2 or 3 people, working in full alignment with each other, can reach. This isn't about hiring employees. It isn't about coaches. It's about having a circle of 2 or 3 people who know your goal, share it, and help you move toward it. Carnegie didn't build his empire alone. He had a team, each of them amplifying him in some area. Henry Ford didn't start alone either. His wife held up his belief in a self-powered carriage for years, while everyone around him thought he was a crank. Here's how to do it in practice. Step 1. Find at least one person close to you who believes in you. A spouse, a parent, a friend. The key word is believes. Not gives you a reality check, not pulls you back down to earth. Believes. Tell them your goal. Ask them to be your ally. Step 2. Find at least one person in your professional world who's already walking where you're trying to go. That's harder. Most people make the mistake here of being too shy to ask. Don't be. Most successful people are willing to share what they know if you ask honestly and specifically. Not, give me some advice. But, my goal is this. Here's what I'm doing. What would you do in my place? Step 3. Stay in regular touch with them. Not, let's catch up sometime. Schedule it. Every 2 weeks. Once a month. With a report on what you did and where you got stuck. This simple mechanism changes lives more than any course. Because a person who knows he'll have to report back in 2 weeks acts differently than someone who owes no one anything. One more thing. Never build alliances like this with people who have nothing to lose. They'll pull you down. Not because they're bad, but because they live by a different set of coordinates. Look for people who are seriously moving themselves, maybe in a different field, but seriously. Friends, a quick pause. I know it's a little awkward to slip this into the middle of a talk, but it matters. If this material is reaching you, please give the video a like. It really does help the channel, and it helps videos like this reach the people who need them. Thank you. Tool number 3. The habit of doing more than is expected of you. This may be the most practical and most underrated habit I know. Most people do exactly what they get paid for. No more, no less. People call it fair. In fact, it's a ceiling. A ceiling a person builds for himself without realizing it. Someone who starts doing a little more, without expecting an immediate reward, gradually starts receiving many times more. And this isn't the law of attraction. It's a very concrete human dynamic, and I'll explain how it works. Here's what happens when you do more than is required. 1. Decision makers notice you. They're constantly scanning their environment for the people who work differently from the rest. Finding one is rare. When they do, they promote you. 2. Grow faster. When you only do the required, you learn nothing new. When you do a little more, you're learning constantly. A year in, you'll be a head above the people who started where you started. 3. You become hard to replace. And people who are hard to replace set the terms. They don't get handed them. 4. You build a reputation. Reputation is a currency that accumulates over years and spends at the right moment. Do more, and in 5 years, you'll have a reputational account no one else in your field has. How to apply this tomorrow, concretely. Step 1. Pick one area. Work, a relationship, one project of yours. For a week, do 20% more in that area than is required. At work, handle a task nobody asked you to handle, but the team needs. At home, do something for the people you love that they don't expect. If you have your own business, call a client you haven't called in a while and ask how they're doing. No pitch, just to ask. Step 2. Don't tell anyone you're doing it. This is critical. The moment you tell people, it becomes a way to fish for credit. And you've broken the principle right there. Do it quietly. Step 3. Do it 7 days in a row. No skipping. After a week, you'll notice how the people around you have changed toward you. Not because they figured anything out, because you've become someone different. Hill wrote, "A person who develops the habit of doing more than he's paid for is never overlooked for long." It's true. I've watched it play out dozens of times across very different fields and circumstances. Tool number 4. Faith that actually works. I saved faith for last not because it matters less. The opposite. It matters more than the other 3. But if you explain it first, before the other tools, it turns into magical thinking. First, let's agree on what faith means in a practical sense. Faith is the ability to keep acting when there are no immediate results. That's it. It isn't tuning your vibration. It isn't visualization. It isn't convincing yourself it'll all work out. It's a very down-to-earth, very practical thing. Edison ran over 10,000 experiments before he produced a working light bulb. Most people would have given up after 100. Edison didn't. Not because he was a special kind of person, because he had what we're calling faith, the ability to keep going when the result isn't there yet. Ford started out being mocked. People called him a crank. His neighbors laughed at his self-powered carriage. If he had given up, the modern world would look different. He didn't give up. What sets people like that apart? Not the right vibration. Something very simple. They trusted something larger than themselves. Some trusted their work. Some trusted their calling. Some trusted the one who placed that calling in them. And here, the one place in this conversation I want to slow down a little more. If your faith rests only on yourself, it breaks. Because you'll get tired. You'll have doubts. There will be stretches when you have no strength. But if you understand your life isn't an accident, that the one who made you had a design when he made you in particular, you have a foundation that doesn't depend on your mood, and it's the strongest foundation a person has. This doesn't make you passive, the opposite. It gives you the strength to act more calmly, more confidently, and longer, because you're no longer carrying the weight of the whole outcome. You do what's yours to do, and what isn't yours, you let go of. How to build that kind of faith, concretely. Step 1. Take the goal from tool number 1. Every day, mornings work best, spend 3 minutes, no more, picturing it as already reached. Not as a dream, but as something that has already happened. Not to attract it, so your brain gets used to living in that reality and starts looking for paths to it automatically. This works at the level of neurobiology. A brain that regularly visits the future you want acts differently from a brain that only replays yesterday's fears. Step 2. When you hit a failure, and you will, learn to ask a different question. Not, why is this happening to me? That one leads to a dead end. Ask, what is this teaching me? And, what's the next step possible right now? Those two questions turn your thinking from defeat to action. Step 3. Every evening, a short review of the day. Not as self-flagellation, as training. What did I do well? Where did I slip? What will I try differently tomorrow? It's 5 minutes, but those 5 minutes are worth more than any motivational book. What to do with all this? Now, a practical plan. For the next 30 days, days 1 through 2, write out the goal and the price you're willing to pay, on paper. Days 3 through 7, find at least one ally, tell them your goal. From day 8, ongoing, every day, do more than is expected, in one chosen area, quietly. Every morning, 3 minutes, picture the goal as already reached. Every evening, 5 minutes, review the day. That's it. No magical rituals, no 2-hour visualizations, no affirmations in front of the mirror. I'll be honest with you, most people who watch this video will do nothing. They'll nod, agree, maybe hit like, and go on living the way they were living. A few percent will try and not last a week, and only a handful, a real handful, will actually start. And those are the ones who, a year from now, will be living differently. What sets the third group apart from the first? Not education, not ability, not luck. The willingness to do boring, simple, repetitive things day after day, with no applause, with no immediate reward, just because they decided, and they're faithful to their decision. If you want to be among the people who actually change their lives, start tomorrow. Not on Monday, tomorrow, with the first step, with the notebook. And remember, behind this road, if you walk it honestly, there's always someone who sees more than you do. And at the right moment, he gives you what you would never have given yourself. Short summary. The main things to take with you. The goal has to be concrete. What, how much, by when, why. And what you're willing to pay for it. One person doesn't go far. Find 2 or 3 allies who believe in you and hold you accountable. Every day, do a little more than is required, quietly. This changes life more than anything else. Faith is the ability to keep going when there's no result. Don't lean on yourself alone. You won't get far on that. 30-day plan. Notebook, ally, plus 20% every day, 3 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes in the evening. That's enough, if you do it honestly. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. I make breakdowns like this regularly, and the conversations here are calm, on point, no fluff, no melodrama. And any comment, even one word, moves the video along too. And one more thing. If you're thinking of someone right now, a friend, a parent, someone close who you think these tools could help, send it to them, just as a thought. Until next time.